Just Blaze. Oh, baby. Killer. All the girls see the. Look at his kicks. Look at his car. All I say is, look, mommy, I'm no good. I'm so hood. Clap at your soldier sober. Then leave after it's over. Killer. I'm not your.
What's up, my Archons of Chaos, looking creepy as the Crypt Keeper myself with the 80s rock star hair and sharing some Final Fantasy knowledge and insight. No, but this is your King Knight, VII EX Turk, and I'm here with another Final Fantasy segment, mostly Final Fantasy VII this time. And we're going to be talking about the classic rivalry between Cloud and Sephiroth. Now, as you know, both Cloud and Sephiroth were pretty much polar opposites of the end. Both have the same thing that happened to them. Both were experimented on. Both lost friends and family, and dealt with it in different ways. As Cloud became the hero and guardian of Livestream, and pretty much the heroic Shinra terrorists, for Avalanche, and as for Sephiroth, became the destroyer of the world and rebuild the world in his image. Well, pretty much, I'm gonna just say this: one became an eco-friendly terrorist, and the other one became pretty much. Well, I'm trying to figure out the words for it. A god complex narcissist. Well, pretty much had the same ideal about the world, just in different ways. Now, in the story time, and I'm talking about the game video. Now, this is no longer canon anymore, but let's just talk about Crisis Core for argument's sake, because this is all about Cloud and Sephiroth. So characters like Vincent Valentine, Lucretia, Tifa, Barret, etc. are out of this equation. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Crisis Core was canon. What it isn't, but so let's just put that in there. Cloud looked up to Sephiroth. In fact, Cloud joined Shinra to be like Sephiroth in the beginning. Now, he kind of had some little bit made up stories because he mistaked himself for Zack Fair, which was a big mistake, and that's just putting it bluntly. That's just putting it bluntly. Zack Nixon, but Cloud was there. He was just an infantry man that picked up Zack's sword and finished Sephiroth off. And this is, how the rivalry started, because Sephiroth could not understand, even to this day, how a normal human with no Mako injections, no Genova cells, none of that, could actually beat him. As when he stabbed Cloud, Cloud was able to grab the sword, even though Cloud was in a lot of pain. I mean, that's enough pain to kill you as a normal human being. But Cloud grabbed that sword, bam, pushed Sephiroth right onto the reactor, and he fell into the live stream. Well, he jumped into the live stream because he knew he was beat. But this is how the rivalry started. So Crisis Core actually ends with Sephiroth jumping in the live stream. But before that, Cloud looked up to Sephiroth a lot as a hero before all this. And this is why this makes the rivalry so significant, because it started as your idol. Your idol is killing your mom, the people you knew, the people you grew up with, and burning your town. And how do you deal with that? Instead of get angry, like normal people. Like being a normal human being. But nonetheless, it's just, nonetheless, that's how the rivalry started. The rivalry started between that. Then Sephiroth came back. Well, it was actually Genova producing a ghost Sephiroth. The ghost Sephiroth is the one who was, if anything, it sounds crazy, but listen to this theory. Sephiroth was controlling Genova. Now, Genova, was bad and calamity to the earth. That's why she got sealed in by the creator, by the weapons, because she was a calamity to the earth. But, all she wanted was her pieces back. All she wanted was her body parts back that Shinra took away from her. That's why she wanted Cloud, Sephiroth, and if you count the compilation, Genesis and Angel. She just wanted her pieces back. If you don't count that as canon, then just pretty much Cloud and Sephiroth has all the genes that she wants, and Zack are the only characters that actually have her cells, and she just wants them back. That's all. And she'll probably leave. Sephiroth actually took control of her, just so he could take control of Cloud so Cloud could give the black materia to resurrect the real Sephiroth in the Northern Craver, and it did happen. Now, yeah, Sephiroth was thankful to Cloud because Cloud actually dug up and found the black materia for him. You know, so he was really happy that Cloud gave him. That's why Sephiroth keeps calling Cloud a puppet, because to signify he has some control over Cloud. That's why in the Kingdom Hearts sorry, I didn't mean to say verse. Can't talk today. But the reason why that's why in the Kingdom Hearts verse, you know, Sephiroth talks about you can't let go of your darkness. You can't let go of your darkness. You know, signifying that he can have some control over him. Because Sephiroth is powerful, besides being a first-class soldier and someone who could shoot a meteor. Sephiroth has godlike abilities. You know, stuff that's just so supernatural, it's hard to explain. If you have any pieces of his supposed called mother, you know, not his real mother, but Genova, he could pretty much take control of you as well. He could take control of your thoughts and stuff like that. Now, Cloud was able to fight it off, but still, that's why Sephiroth calls Cloud a puppet. And so, Final Fantasy VII happens the way it does. The Search of Sephiroth, the whole Avalanche versus Shinra arc is over. They've been chasing Genova until the Black Materia. Then after the Black Materia was, was excavated by Cloud in them. After that, pretty much Sephiroth took over the Cloud, and Cloud gave the black materia under the control of the real Sephiroth. The real Sephiroth comes back, puts a barrier, the weapons are coming out of the crater. Everything happens normally like in Final Fantasy VII, where they chase after Sephiroth. The whole game becomes the chase for Sephiroth now. They don't really care about Shinra because they can defeat Shinra anytime. I mean, they got Cloud, which has the power of the first-class soldier. Even though he's not first-class soldier, he has the power of it. Remember, Cloud is a Sephiroth clone. That's why I said those two have a different parallel, because Cloud becomes a Sephiroth clone after he beats Sephiroth in Crisis Core. Hojo sees to that. And then you got Barrett, who's the leader of Avalanche for good reason, because he's strong. You got Vincent Valentine, which he's an ex-Turk that has the power of first-class soldier, as well as the power of chaos with him. You got Tifa, the strongest woman in Final Fantasy history. You got, Yuffie, the strongest thief class character. You got Nanaki, the strongest of his race. You got Sid Highwing, even though he's only a pilot, he's also a Highwind, so that's some Dragoon clan type of stuff. They can take on Shinra anytime and beat Shinra. So the game now focuses on trying to find Sephiroth. And Shinra wants to find Sephiroth as well, because Rufus Shinra just wants to take out Sephiroth, as well, because Sephiroth would be a threat to the new Shinra rule, pretty much. So, Rufus Shinra and Cloud are trying to find Sephiroth. Both characters are trying to find Sephiroth. The normal stuff happens. They go to the Northern Crater, beat Genova for the final time. And then they go down to challenge Sephiroth. And after they defeat then they go fight Sephiroth in his various forms. Cloud has one final clash with Sephiroth. And then after having one final clash with Sephiroth, you thought Sephiroth was dead. Now this is no longer canon anymore. If you're all about canon, I suggest you don't watch this part of the video. I suggest everything before that you watch, but this part you don't. If you don't like non-canon material, because this part is going to talk about having children. The movie 2005's Avid Children comes out in the year 2005. The original one, at least, not the complete one. The complete one comes out in 2007 because it's like the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. So then, you know, after that, Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus come out in the same year, just different, you know, times a month. So that happens. The compilation of Final Fantasy VII is here. But we're not going to be talking about the compilation because we already talked about Crisis Core. And Dirge of Cerberus pretty much is all Vincent Valentine's story. It's not really... The only thing that has Sephiroth is Sephiroth's mother gives birth to Sephiroth, and Vincent was around that time. But that's the only material that actually will go into that. But what you can watch my other videos or play Dirge of Cerberus for yourself to figure that out. I don't need to tell you about what happens. You know, I suggest you go buy the games if you want to know more. But nonetheless, back to the thing. Avid Children comes out. You thought Sephiroth was dead, but before he completely died, he left 3 clones of himself. Imperfect clones known as... Not the stigmas. The stigma was part of it. It was only the invitation. But he leaves the parasitic clones, you know, known as... I forget their name. I mean, I forget the name of what they're called. But I know there's Kadaj, Luz, Lizu, the Remnants. Yeah, they're the Remnants of Sephiroth, pretty much. The whole movie goes through what it did. You know, Cloud figures out who Kadaj really is. Kadaj steals Genova's cells out of Rufus's hands. And then before he loses to Cloud completely, because he knew he was going to lose to Cloud, he actually put the ashes of the supposed alien mother, becomes Sephiroth one more time, and then Sephiroth fights Cloud for one final time in the Final Fantasy VII verse. In the Final Fantasy VII verse. Since there's no remnants or any ways to bring Sephiroth back, you know, and Ghost Aerith purified the life stream completely, Sephiroth can't come back in the Final Fantasy VII verse. He's gone completely. Not one trace of him is in the life stream anymore, and all the remnants died and were sent to the same place Aerith was. Even though the remnants were evil, you know, they were sent there for a reason. So now Sephiroth can't come back. Sephiroth is gone in Final Fantasy VII. Now, Kingdom Hearts kind of plays on the same story, except in the Kingdom Hearts verse, Sephiroth is Cloud's Heartless. And if you know about the Heartless in Kingdom Hearts, they're pretty much, I think they're like dead versions, or you can tell me in the comments what Heartless exactly are, but pretty much Heartless are opposite versions of your original one. Just like how Xehanort has Xemnas, you know. Sephiroth is Cloud's Heartless. All the darkness that Cloud holds in his heart creates Sephiroth and makes him return. So pretty much in the Kingdom Hearts verse, Sephiroth respawns over and over and over and over and over in an endless loop until the Kingdom Hearts verse is over, and until Cloud can let go of the darkness for good, or anything bad, anything Cloud thinks that's bad, anything that Cloud is thinking is bad and thinking about bad stuff, Sephiroth comes back. That's all we know. But that's about it with that one. The Dissidia relationship is just like the Final Fantasy VII one, except they don't remember. The only thing Cloud remembers is how much he hates Sephiroth at that point. That's all he remembers. And then when he kind of starts to remember Tifa, and when Sephiroth points his sword at Tifa, he starts to remember everything that happened in Crisis Core again. When he slashed Tifa, then he fights Sephiroth and betrays Sephiroth because he was Sephiroth's partner when Cloud was working for Chaos. So pretty much Sephiroth and Cloud had a long rivalry history, and they're both polar opposites with both different, with pretty much with the same thought process, just carried out different. Cloud is the light, Sephiroth is the darkness. So tell me what you think about this discussion and theory. May the crystal be with you. I'm sorry I kind of jumped over the words. I just kind of rushed this video because, well, I got other things I need to do, but, you know, plus I wanted to advertise my new background. But may the crystal be with you.